My name's Deputy Mark Hensley, and I've been a cop in the small town of Brookhaven, population 4,203, for 13 years. It's the kind of quiet town where you know every face, every dog, and every rusted pickup that drives down Main Street. We don't see much crime here, maybe a drunk on a Friday night or a missing mailbox. But there's one case, one night, that still keeps me awake. It started in October 2012, during one of those thick autumn fogs that roll in from the lake like a living thing. I was on patrol when the radio crackled. Unit 3, respond to County Road 19. Caller reports strange lights in the woods behind Miller's farm. I remember laughing. Aliens again, I said into the radio. But dispatch didn't laugh. Caller sounds scared, Mark. You'd better check it out. When I got there, the farm was quiet. The fog was so thick I could barely see my own headlights. Old man Walter Miller was waiting near the fence, flashlight trembling in his hand. "They're back," he whispered. "The lights. Same as last week." I followed him toward the cornfield. And there they were. 3 glowing orbs hovering about 20 feet above the ground, perfectly still, humming softly. The light wasn't like anything I'd seen before. Not white, not yellow. More like a color that didn't belong in our world. I radioed in, but all I got was static. Walter shouted something, then the orbs flickered, spun in a perfect triangle, and shot straight up into the clouds. Gone. For a second I just stood there, my heart pounding. Then I noticed something else. A circle burned into the ground about 10 feet wide. The corn inside was turned to ash, but the soil underneath was cold. No smoke, no heat, no tracks. I took photos, bagged a few samples, and wrote it up as Unexplained lights. Around here, you don't make a fuss unless you want to be the town joke. But that wasn't the end. Not even close. The middle, the missing girl. 3 days later, a 17-year-old girl named Emily Rhodes went missing. Her mom said she'd gone jogging near the same woods. Search teams combed every inch of that forest for days. Dogs, drones, volunteers. We found nothing. No shoe, no phone, no sign of struggle. Until the 5th day. A hunter called it in. He'd found a clearing deep in the woods where the ground was wrong. The soil was turned over, the trees around it slightly bent inward, like something had pressed down from above. Right in the center lay Emily's smartwatch, still glowing faintly. When we played back the data, it showed her running, heart rate normal, until exactly 8:47 p.m. when everything spiked. The GPS signal went haywire, bouncing miles apart every second, then flatlined. Something about it didn't sit right with me. The lights, the field, now this. I sent the watch and the soil samples to the state lab. A week later they called me. "Deputy, the isotopes in your sample don't match anything we know. It's not just contamination. It's impossible." "Impossible how?" "Yes. There's no carbon. No organic trace. It's like the ground was erased and reprinted." That phrase, erased and reprinted, stuck in my head for years. The feds came a week later. Not FBI, not anyone from the usual agencies. 2 men in gray suits, no IDs. They flashed some kind of clearance badge I'd never seen and told me the investigation was now classified. They took all our files, our evidence, even the memory card from my camera. One of them, a tall guy with silver hair, looked at me and said, "You didn't see anything unusual that night, did you, Deputy?" Said no. Because in his eyes, I saw that it didn't matter what I said. They'd already decided what the truth would be. The strange return. 6 months passed. Emily was gone. The case went cold. Her parents moved away, the press stopped calling, and Brookhaven returned to its slow heartbeat of small-town life. Then, in April 2013, I got a call that changed everything. A trucker had spotted a young woman walking barefoot on Highway 8, pale, dazed, wearing the same jogging outfit Emily had vanished in. When I got there, it was her. She looked the same, not older, not thinner, exactly the same. As if not a day had passed. We rushed her to the hospital. She was dehydrated, disoriented, and couldn't speak for hours. When she finally did, the first thing she said was, "Where's my mom?" Emily, I said gently. You've been gone for 6 months. She stared at me like I'd told her the sky was green. No, she said. I was only gone for a few minutes. The middle deepens. The interviews. Emily's memory was fragmented. She said she remembered running through the woods, hearing a strange hum, and then everything went black. When she woke up, she was in a room made of glass, or something like glass, filled with light and shapes that moved like water. There were people there, she said, trembling. Or, I thought they were people. They had faces, but they kept changing. They asked me questions in my head. They wanted to know how I remembered things, how I felt time. Doctors called it trauma-induced hallucination. I didn't believe that. Not after what I'd seen. When she was released, she stayed with her aunt on the edge of town. I visited her a few times, mostly to check in. She seemed normal at first. But then she started talking about dreams. Deputy, she said one evening, sometimes I see places I've never been. Cities made of light. Machines floating in the sky. And there's this sound, like that hum in the woods. 2 weeks later she disappeared again. Her bed was empty, her window open, and the same triangle-shaped lights were seen hovering above the forest that night. That was 10 years ago. The ending, the return of the lights. You might think the story ends there. But it doesn't. In October 2024, exactly 12 years after the first sighting, I was driving the same road, County Road 19, when my radio went dead. Every frequency filled with static. Then I saw it. Lights. 3 of them, hanging over the cornfield, humming like before. Only this time they didn't rise. They pulsed rhythmically like a heartbeat. And then my dashboard camera came on by itself. Video recording initiated. Voice recognition. Deputy Mark Hensley. Chill ran through me. The lights were brighter now, forming a spiral pattern. In the center I saw something begin to form. A silhouette. A figure walking toward me through the mist. It was Emily. Her hair was longer, her eyes almost glowing. She smiled faintly. You shouldn't have come back, Mark. Froze. Emily, where have you been? She looked up at the lights. Not where. When? She took a step closer, her voice low and distant. They're not what you think. They don't travel through space. They travel through memory. They use us to navigate, to anchor themselves in time. The air shimmered around her. My vision blurred, and I could feel a pressure in my skull, like 1,000 voices whispering all at once. Emily, you need help, I said, trying to reach for her. She smiled sadly. You can't help me. You're already part of it. And then she vanished. The lights twisted into a single beam and shot upward, leaving the air burning cold. I stumbled back to my cruiser, shaking. The engine was dead, the clock frozen at 8:47 p.m. The same time her watch had stopped 12 years ago. When I got back to the station, I checked the dashcam footage. It was all there, the lights, the field, even her voice. I backed it up, saved copies, sent them to multiple drives. The next morning they were gone. Every file. Every trace.